Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tashana. Let's get into this. Oh, I'm sorry. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, hello, welcome. Thank you. Please get on up in here. Please follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV. No periodic table or alien talk. However, I already know the creator came through with a message. All right, guys, it's been brought to my attention that people are having this debate about which religion is better. Okay, I'll start by saying this: they're all designed for a specific time frame. Each religion has been created to keep order for each. And when I say created to keep order, I'm speaking going beyond the powers that be. I'm speaking beyond the powers that definitely did create these religions or organizations, right? I'm saying that the creator allowed it to happen to keep order, to allow those who will be led to him to be led to him through these different ideals, okay? I want to first note this. Islam is the baby, okay? And we've talked about religion. We did an entire series on religions. I like to start the series on Fridays. Of course, if the creator is telling me something different, I'll do something different. But I prefer to start them on a Friday and end them on a Friday so we can get a full week. However, the creator is saying that a lot of people are looking at me sideways for doing the autistic population. So I think we're going to sit on that. We're going to do it, but I'm going to sit on it to make sure the creator is giving me the okay. All right. I'm not exploiting anyone. I'm not saying anyone's name. I'm not saying their location. I'm not even giving the description of how they look physically. We are solely focusing on behaviors and the different ways that it can connect us to the spiritual realms, okay? Let's just note that the creator created the veil for our protection. There is a surah that talks about the unseen, and there's a lot of different signs that point to things being in our atmosphere that we cannot physically see, okay? So those people who can see and sense and they understand those things, they have been given that gift by the creator because the creator knows that they can handle it. Not everyone would know how to respond to seeing their dead grandma that they know, right? Not like ancestors, that you don't know. Like ancestors that you actually know. Like, how would you handle it if you seen a person that you know to be deceased just walking in your face? Or if you knew that they were just there in your presence because the creator is alerting you. Or you have these visions, or you have the ability to see into the spiritual realm, and you can see when people are, going out to the graveyard in the wee hours, when they are saying things that goes against you, when they are scheming and scamming and plotting, right? Exactly how do you address that? Exactly how do you address it? How do you interpret it, right? How do you even know if it's real? This is why it's important for us to allow the people that were chosen for this to do it. And if you were not given the gifts of seership or interpretation, whatever spiritual gifts are connected to the spiritual realm, right? If you weren't given them, this is why you don't toy with these things, because if you don't know how to properly respond, you can get hurt. And other people can also get hurt as a result of your desire to dibble and dabble in things that you have nothing to do with, right? We all have a calling. It's not always spiritual for everyone. And I think although we are spiritual beings, we need to understand that not everyone is entitled to being able to see beyond the veil, okay? And this doesn't mean the person who can see is better in any kind of way. It's actually really stressful to carry on these spiritual gifts, right? Especially if you were given an assignment with those gifts. Like, it's one thing to say, hey, I can see spirits, I can talk to spirits, I can channel spirits, I can see the future, I can dream of the future, I can dream of the past, and I know how to balance out my bloodline's karma. I understand tongues, right? It's really cool to be able to do that, but it is stressful to be able or to have to take on the responsibility that comes with it, because it is a great responsibility. No one who was chosen by the Most High to do this is like, they're not happy about it. They're grateful. More than likely, they appreciate it. You have some people who have these gifts who don't even use them. They're not even tapped into them, specifically because they don't want the responsibility that comes with the warfare. So you have to realize that your job as a spiritual person is to be aware, okay? Is to be aware of who you are in the spirit and what your job is. And we've talked about that in many different ways, right? But this right here is not the same as religion. So I think that is a part of the issue. Sure, religion can be a spiritual thing, but this is not a thing of religion. This is what people need to understand. You don't get to choose the spiritual walk of not even your family members. You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. Whether you're doing it through spirituality or you're doing it through religion, okay? You cannot, they have to make the ultimate decision as to how they're going to build their relationship with the Most High. And not everyone is meant in this lifetime anyway to forge that type of relationship. So everything goes through the Creator and His plan over our lives. We don't get to decide that. He does. None of us are fully evolved enough to be able to determine the fate or the spiritual decisions that other people have to make. Okay, that's up to them. That's up to God. That's not up to us. Unless the Creator has given us the responsibility to be spiritually responsible for someone else, you can't take on that burden. Things need to be accomplished before you can step into your spiritual journey, before you can step into your calling and your purpose. And not everyone is in that cycle of their life, right? You have some souls that just made it to this dimension, and they need to go through a few cycles before they can step fully into their power, before they can be able to communicate with the ethers, before they can have an understanding of the ethers. It doesn't always have anything to do with the bloodline, right? Sometimes it's just not your time to do it. God makes that decision when you're ready for Him. No one is above any of this either. I think it's important for us to make sure we keep that in mind. No one is above this. We talked about feelings, right? They have tons of names, but I would like to call them a replacement, okay? You're not above this. If you are getting the call and you don't answer it, someone else will be next in line. That's all of us. You get a certain amount of time and grace to fill the shoes to fulfill the purpose. And if you do not, someone else will do it. Or what will happen is everything that is connected to you will literally die. And you'll have to start all over again. So if you want to do that, that's up to you. That would be your choice. I can't tell you, how to move from there. I'm simply a conduit, a link for the Most High that is going to be used to connect you to Him. That's my job, okay? I don't have anything to do with your decisions. My job is to provide the insight, provide the information, and you do whatever it is you want with that information. I absolutely will not force anyone to even take the information that I'm divulging. I do my part when I record these segments. I do my part when I make posts, and I am making people aware of the Creator's existence. I am doing my part when I tell my testimony. Anything outside of that is extra. And unless the Creator tells me to do so, I will not. We don't owe anything extra. When you do that, sometimes it can turn into a bad situation.